guys, how goes it? I realized I hadn't made a card in a while and thought it would be fun to do the Artful Angel challenge of June. So this is the, I want to say Splish Splash. It's one of the new stamp sets. And I'm thinking we're going to use the guy probably. We could also use the girl depending on how this mats. I'm thinking we're going to sort of mat, but keep it a little higher so that we have good space around here. Anyway, this is my usual, I guess now, hammer um, cardstock. And then here's, this is a skin blend recommended by my friend B, so I wanted to try it out. I feel like we're a little crooked. We are a little crooked. And then we're a little crooked that way. That's better. Then I just grabbed a blonde hair blend. I think I'm going to use mostly the blending color here just to kind of make it look more like a tan person with blonde hair so the hair doesn't look like misplaced. Because I think I'll do yellow hair. I also pulled a couple reds for the beach ball. Um, we can probably use these to handle the sand as needed, although I don't think there really will be much sand once this is together. And then I still have my untested Artful Angel Copic Club blend, which is sort of blue denim colors, so I think that would be good for the suit. But anyway, I did do a little bit of die cutting. This is from the Bite is the Sea collection from Stampin' Up, which I think may be retired now. This is just one of these pearlescent card bases from the Michael store. And I just did a little, following their sketch, I cut a banner die. Mine's a bit wider than the sketch, but I think it's going to work out well. And as I was playing around with this, I kind of like the idea of, you center this in the figure, and then, like, you could allow the hello to sort of overlap a little bit. So I thought that would be cool, because I like sort of this three blues kind of look a lot. I guess it's two blues and a teal, but who's counting? Anyway, so that's what I was going to do, and then I pulled some enamel dots, and we'll just have fun playing around with this and coloring some stuff. And it shouldn't be too big of a deal one way or the other. I really want to... there are lots of challenges coming up. Seems like it's a challenge-heavy time of the year. And I don't know if that's just because it's sort of design team time of the year or what. Because anything that sort of runs for half the year is sort of, I don't know, restarting, recirculating, whatever term you want to use. As you see, I still have all my cats out because I still want to color even more cats. And anytime I'm doing like a series, I always like to sort of leave the stamps all together, because I never know how many copies of anything I'm going to need, because, I change my mind. And I think it's hard to predict, too, with, if you're looking at doing a series of 15 cards, it's like, well, I can guess how much ephemera I need, but I don't know for sure. And the word die, in case you were curious, I believe is a cat scrappiness die. If not, she makes similar things. The one little tricky bit here, I think, is going to be that we may want to just tape this down. If I see tape on my desk. Well, we'll see. We can probably be okay. We should be good to go. This is why it's great that we have these little embellishments that you can just put over the oopsie. And then we can just make it sort of something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Although in theory we could also put the hello over the top and put this down a little bit and just sort of be careful where we put the hello and then cover it up with that too. That actually looks pretty cool. So we may do that, but on to coloring. I don't know, this is the same artist, I think, that did the cat stamp set and the Christmas stamp set and a few other ones, and I'm really a big fan. So, let us play with our skin blend first. The R28 is the darkest, I believe. These, and we can just double check that. And then I will do a little shadow over the itty bitty part of sand that came through. Then we're going to grab the 27. I think I don't really need, I'm going to go in and grab the ears with the 27. Do a little bit of the hairline. Just sort of going for someone who spends a lot of time at the beach and is very tan as a result. And just going with the legs. 26 will give us most of our color. So I'm going to flip around and make sure I'm working on the brush side. As you can see, this becomes a lot more of a translucent color. And you do start, trying to do is just trying to pull some of the color from elsewhere. We come in with a little bit of red later. Yeah, this is definitely a darker blend than what I usually do, so I don't know. I'm that thinking I may use the yellow on the suit and just go in, like use the two darker colors here and do the hair that way, because I think that blonde hair would look kind of crazy. So that's what I'm going to do. Trying to flick in a little bit with the color so it's, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? So that it sort of blends out a bit more. I do like how this is coming together. Yeah, this kind of makes sense. It's a little close to skin tone. I don't know. Let's darken it up a little. Because, I don't know, it was just looking very close to skin tone for me. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I think we can probably do better. Well, I don't know. On camera, it looks a lot better, brighter than it does in real life. So it could just be the light I'm looking at. We can finish coloring this, and let's see. I'm going to grab the red 2 and the red 4. Let's do this, and then yeah, you always see sort of really advanced colorists. I'm always like, I don't know how I feel about it sometimes. But, you know, it is sort of a practicing thing too. There we go. A nice red beach ball. And I think rather than blending this, I think I'm going to sort of follow the artist drawn lines here a little bit and this one color and then grab the lighter yellow. I do like it. As it dries down, the skin tone is lightening up and the hair tone is kind of darkening out, so it looks less like everything is colored the same way. So I like that. So let's see about putting our card together because somebody is meowing and would like some food eventually. We'll just let that dry. I will whoops, grab some ATG. Now we could either. I like the idea of this side bringing it a little bit of the color in. I'm curious if we. So I think we could do this and then do the hello like that. I do think this would benefit from a little ink blending in at the sides with a light blue. Oh look, we have light blue. Shocking, I know. My favorite ink color, and here it is. Uh, and a blending brush. And we'll grab our Misty to just sort of blend this in. But I think actually using the side I didn't initially pick, well, yeah. I always like this as a technique with coloring too, to just sort of blend in a little bit of background color to basically make the center whiter, if you know what I mean. Like it'll make the center a little, make it more obviously the focal point. I'm not adding more ink, I'm just allowing the smoothness of the paper to let me blend it out. And the fact that these Catherine Pooler inks are pretty self-leveling, so they're pretty easy to work with. And just like that, it looks better. But I think I'll use the less busy side. I do kind of like that composition better, which I guess is another thing that's worth thinking of, which is like you can always change things if you aren't loving the way they're going. It's always sad with some of these pattern paper. It's like I don't really want to cover up any side of this. But anyway, so all we really need to do is line up the top, and let's see if I can. I think that's stuck. So it's a little uneven here, but this actually may work to our advantage because that's where we're probably going to put our bling. So just FYI. And then with hello, we'll cover up our oopsie. And I do like how that looks, actually. So let's glue this guy down. My glue has disappeared somewhere. And my cat is trying to climb everything in sight. I think he is hungry. Ah, right here. Right in front of me, of course. Isn't that just the way with things? And something like this is probably a good application of liquid glue anyway, just because that gives us a little more work time, which will be great because sometimes you kind of get stuff like this down and want to play around with it a little bit. But basically we want it right kind of like that. And you can burnish with anything you want. You can burnish with your stamp tool. You can burnish with other stamp tools. I actually got, who is it? Sweet Sentiments coffee themed stamp press as well, because I wanted to see how it differentiated. So our options are, I think that's basically, so we want this to be sort of, we just sort of want to cover up our oopsie with, so where do we want the hello? I kind of like it like this. I think it balances the space. Yeah. Like I think that balances the space pretty nicely. Um, you can of course use tweezers. I am not doing that today, but tweezers are a better way to position this probably. And we have some. I just always forget about them for whatever reason. Then let's just spin this guy around, and we just want to get him even-ish. The glue, of course, will dry clear, although if you don't put too much on, that's always a good option too. Whoop. There's that, I think. I'll just press down a little bit, and I think we are mostly together. Can zoom out a little bit just so it's easier to see. And I think the only other thing I wanted to do, mostly to keep it in line with the sketch, is to add some bling down the right side. The sketch has three things, and I think that since we opted for the yellow shorts, using these yellow epoxy dots will look really cool. And I think I'm going to go with the bigger ones, just because it's just to sort of offset this a little bit. And the nice thing about these two is once you get them down, if you don't push them really hard, they move around a little bit, so you can realign them in both directions. And there we go. These pearlescent card bases also kind of help with that because they're coated slightly. Anyway, this is my entry for the Artful Angel Challenge. Let me bring it up here so you can see it a little bit. You get some nice metallic, and then we got our dude who's saying hello. And then I left it blank on the inside so you can put in whatever message you would like. So a great anytime card with a definite summer vibe. Anyway, thanks for checking it out, and talk to you guys later.